Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Kirst, good to see you. How's it going tonight? Today for you, I suppose. Oh, this place is a mess. Of course, I haven't been here in over a year and a half, so today we're in my original campaign world, which I have since turned into my warehouse world. Ah, yes, talking to Kirst in the future. So, don't judge this base, because it is old. I was but a young dwarf when I set this up. But we're going to add to it since it is my warehouse world. And we're going to do that in the 21st hall. Full disclosure, I am using some mods just to make life as a builder more simple. I'm using the Fat Stacks mod and the Epic Items in any slot mod. I would also normally be using Toby Ichiro's more buildings mod or restored buildings mod, but this world is old enough that I have access to all of the old build pieces. So you'll see some pieces such as this crown and this smaller wood paneled wall, and things like that that you don't get in the current version of the game. But if you're on PC and you want those pieces and you don't have an old world, you can download Toby's mod on Nexus Mods and have access to these. And I like this building, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it. I mean, I could rebuild it. I don't know. So the idea is to come in here and I'm going to build a Lord's house for each one of my dwarves. So let's see, that's going to be Builder, Baron, Brawler. I think that's going to be it for now. So tell me what you think. Should we use one of these existing buildings that's here? Or should we... God, that's beautiful. Why can't we build those pieces? Or should we build anew, tear them down and build anew? Oh, I do like that pot. I'm sure there's some delay, Cursed. So are you talking about the first building that I looked at or the second building that I looked at? The second building is one that I'm currently in. Ah, yeah, the second one, this one. Yeah, at the very, very least, I will reserve that pot and that pot rack. That one's got to go. And I will definitely preserve the whole front of the building. Of course, if I decide to strategically remove some stuff, we're going to have to be very careful. Hey, Tyler, how are you? but I think we can save this whole building. So let's go check out the other buildings in this room. For those that don't know, this is the 21st hall. This is the room in campaign, spoiler alert, that you first encounter, well, where most people first encounter a troll that they can turn into stone. It can happen before here, but this is just there's a big bunch of sunlight in here, and he's in here fighting orcs, and it's easy to run from him and have him get caught in the sunlight. 30 minutes till home time. This building can go. I don't need that building. And it's really super easy to rebuild if I decide to. I can't build those shelves. I mean, if I download one of Toby's other mods that has custom build pieces in it, I could. But you gotta be careful with that mod. You gotta be careful what world you use it in, because if you decide to uninstall it, or if the mod breaks and Toby's not around to support it and fix it, then all the extra pieces that you added will disappear. And you can tell this is an old world because this building would not have... First of all, this building is rare in current worlds, but it would not have that door on it. Ah, the cobbler's shop. I do like those chandeliers. Amethyst just laying around on the ground in here? We can probably try to save that one. Except I'm never a fan of how close it gets to the edge up here. And that stair hanging off of the edge. Yeah, I don't know. You might get rid of it. We're not doing it all tonight, though. Just see what we've got. Again, this one can go away. Black diamond in there. You know what? Let's just go ahead and claim this bedroll just to be on the safe side. Not that I plan on dying, because I am using some special dev gear acquired from the warehouse. One day I'll build in here. Not today, though. Alright, let's go back and look at this first house. I think that one's probably gonna have to come down. I threatened to make a video about how to disassemble pieces of a house, of a building, without destroying the whole building. I'll give a quick example of that now, but I do intend on making that video, especially since Faith called me out on it tonight. It's good that she called me out on it. I need that kind of motivation. If my audio sounds off or anything like that, please don't be afraid to let me know. Sometimes I tend to move away from the mic. And it is late, so my personal volume has been decreased. Hey Slade, how's it going? Enlighten me. What does this house really need? Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any wall torches in there. I mean, maybe. Maybe we'll throw one up just for Jubo. How you doing, Slade? Hey, Carl. Welcome in. How are you? I'm doing good, Slade. Doing good. Figured I'd come in and build for a little while to wind down, and figured I'd share that process with anybody willing to watch. This building is going to be a good example of how to disassemble things without wrecking everything around it, so... The best pogo stick of thought. Let us hear it. I don't need you assholes in here. That piece right there that I just repaired. Now I can't target because I'm not standing on that piece of furniture. That piece right there. That can be built if you download Toby's Moria Buildings mod, but that's one of those pieces that if you build it and then remove the mod, that piece will disappear. And anything being supported by it's just going to be floating in midair. That's a great idea, Tyler. I'm gonna have to look into that. I haven't looked into walk-ons yet. I'm sure that they can't be that hard, so just need to remember to take the time and put the effort into doing it. But remind me of that. Like, send me a message to remind me of that if you would, please. Because that's a great idea. Thanks, Tyler. And I appreciate boss as opposed to the alternative. Oh, the stamina. All right, let's see. I think I have karate. I do. Let's build a hearth first. Fair enough, Tyler. Fair enough. Alright, we'll drop the old lodge hearth out here. That should cover everything we plan on doing in there. And let's put up a wall display for this wander keg. There's currently a bug in the game that if you drink from your wander keg, like as I'm holding it here, you will consume 7 servings of ale, which is a waste since there's no buff for consuming extra. So we're going to take it by the mug.
The ostler said to his tipsy cat, the horses of the moon, they neigh and chat.
Got an ad break coming up,
but the master
so I'll wait a little bit to
and the sun'll be rising soon.
I'll wait a little bit to see so nobody misses my deconstruction process in there.
And he sawed and quickened the tune while the landlord shook the man in the moon. It's after 3, he said.
Hey, come on us rule al-shay.
So in the meantime, we'll keep on swinging our hammer. Always ale on a song cursed, always. I thought that platform was going to break on me. Did you see the dust fall off of it? God, I want all these pieces. I want this curved piece here. I want this decorative granite piece back here. It's so frustrating. Gotta make sure you get in there. Get all those little pieces. Sometimes it's easier to get at them from the other side, but I'm here and I can do it, so I might as well. So what's good in everybody's mountain? What's everybody doing in their Moria game? Any exciting projects? Doing playthroughs? Getting ready for Durn's Folk update? Making room for those NPCs? I personally am not making any preparations. I plan on starting a fresh campaign playthrough. I'm going to jump into my worlds and check stuff out, and in my existing worlds and check stuff out, things like that. But the first thing you all will see me do is do a fresh campaign playthrough, hopefully with a few friends. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the build pieces that I currently have that most people don't have access to. Like, we have this piece, but we used to have this piece plus this piece to make up that piece. And they took all those away from us. They kind of consolidated some pieces, and we just flat out lost some pieces. Those all existed in the game before. It's literally the flip of a switch in the game to bring them back to us. And they took them away from us because they said that they were negatively affecting build stability. which several of us in the community have disproven that theory since then. They fixed the stability issues, and we are using these pieces again, and really never quit using these pieces, and aren't experiencing any stability issues. So I don't understand why they won't give them back to us, but that's where we're at. They're not giving them back to us yet, so. "90-second ad break should be over." So, talking about deconstructing stuff. In this kitchen, I want to keep this pot and the rack that it's hanging from. I want to keep this rack of pans. I want to get rid of that rack of pans. I want to keep this keg stand. But I want to get rid of that piece of furniture. I don't care if these stay or go. They can stay for now. If I accidentally destroy them, no big deal. That stove, I don't know if it's going to stay there or not. This vase can go. This crate can go. So the first thing we do is we repair everything around it. We'll start with that stool on the ground. Alright, bear with me 1 second while I check on something. Alright, sorry about that. So again, we want to repair everything around that we want to save. We don't want any accidental damage, any accidental destruction. Now, if we do get accidental destruction, we can always force quit the game. And if we do that quick enough, and Mahal is with us, then we won't lose. We won't have autosaves, and when we come back in, the piece that was inadvertently destroyed will still be there, or we'll be back. So keep that in mind as a possible failsafe. Call. I plan to outfit my Nagarad Forge garrison with NPCs and check out the new content at first. But we'll probably do a fresh playthrough to see how having 4 NPCs changes the experience. Yeah, I don't know how many NPCs we're going to get. Like they said that there will be a few NPCs scattered throughout the early part of the campaign playthrough. You can kind of rescue along the way, right? I don't know how many that's going to be, but I'd be happy with any, really. So it'll be curious to see where those NPCs are at. What their status is, like are they orc prisoners, or are they just lost in the mines, or what's going on there. So yeah, that'll be good. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I like the idea too, Call, of kind of going in and checking things out first and then starting a new playthrough. They say that you'll be able to go back into your old worlds and still rescue those dwarves, those scattered dwarves, not just the ones that you're going to be able to recruit. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, if there's any mods you want to know about, I mean, I haven't used every mod that's available out there, but if I know about it, I'm happy to tell you about it. I use fat stacks and I use epic items in any slot. I've used some of Toby's building mods. I don't always use them, and there's reasons behind that that I won't bore anybody with unless you want to hear about it. So, that's a good question. It's a good question, Tyler. Dumb bird. All right. Arik's the dumb bird. I'm not calling Tyler a dumb bird, just for everybody else's reference. I always call Arik a dumb bird. Okay, so put our hammer away. Oh. Don't get the axe out. Now, there's two ways that I recommend doing this. I have a dev pick. It does the same amount of damage as a simple pickaxe. So I don't recommend using the Quarrymaster because it does 50 points of damage per hit. I don't recommend using Durn's axe because it does 50 points of damage per hit. Oddly enough, I don't recommend using the steel pickaxe because it does 30 points of damage per hit, even though every other pickaxe that I haven't mentioned yet only does 20 points of damage per hit. Meaning the iron pickaxe and the first age pickaxe that are technically better than the steel pickaxe does more damage, or does less damage than the steel pickaxe. So be mindful of that. But the other option is to just punch it. And then get your hammer back out. We're gonna swap that so that I have quick access to my hammer. And then check around to see if anything is damaged. Nothing damaged, so now the tricky part. Put your hammer away. We're gonna get rid of this pot rack. It's hard to tell when you're this close to something what you're actually hitting. There we go, we got it. I wasn't even paying attention to that call or Slade. It did disappear, didn't it? I did break it. Did it break when I punched it? I was so focused on what I was saying that I didn't even watch it go. But it's okay. I mean, it did disappear after. That's weird. That's probably why I didn't notice it. I mean, that sucks. But it's too late to force quit at this point in time. So the only other option to get that back would be to download Toby's More building mods, because that is available as a build piece in his More building mod if you're on PC. I was just thinking of this tonight. I'm gonna message Toby and see if I'm gonna message him and see if he's willing to take some of those pieces and put them in a separate mod, like the decorative pieces, like the keg stand and like this pot and rack and things like that. That giant brazier bowl that sits outside the Elven Quartering campaign, that's in that mod. Those are pieces that you're going to place that are going to be placed on top of stuff that aren't going to be providing support to anything, so that if you remove the mod or the mod breaks and you load back in, those pieces will be disappeared, but it's not going to, like, you're not going to be missing floors or something like that are going to be a pain in the butt to replace without tearing the whole build down. So I'm going to see if he'll separate those, or just suggest to him to separate those into a different mod and like call it More Decorations or something like that. And, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So also one of those items is the do you guys know about the evening ale barrels? Who doesn't know about the evening ale barrels? Does anybody want to see that? The evening ale barrels, meaning the barrels you find barrels on the counters in certain buildings in this game that have ale in them. Does everybody know about those? So you see, those were both damaged from me standing on top of them and punching that pot rack. That's why you want to be careful, because sometimes you can't tell, it'll look like you're punching the pot rack and you're actually punching just these, and all of a sudden these things blow up and you still got that damn pot rack hanging there.
Stop drooling and get back to patrolling.
Kyle, you have to be on PC for mods. You can't do them on console, but it doesn't matter if you're on Epic or Steam. The mods work on both. The mods that I use work on both. And I get all my mods from Nexus Mods. I'm not aware of any other sites out there that have mods for Return to Moria. Unfortunately, the modding community for Return to Moria isn't that robust. The devs don't offer any tools that help modders create their mods. They've got to do it all on their own. So the mods don't, or the game developers don't fight against mods. They don't do anything to block mods. It's not a competitive game, so there's no anti-cheat software or anything like that. But they also don't officially support mods. So keep that in mind when you're using mods. If you have a problem with your game, the first thing you need, if you experience a bug when you have mods installed, the first thing you need to do is remove the mods and see if the bug persists. If it does, then you can file a bug report. But if you have the mods installed and you file a bug report and you send in your logs and your save files and the devs realize that you have mods installed, that's going to be the answer you get back. They're going to say, sorry, your game's modded and we don't support mods, so their only suggestion is going to be to remove the mods and try again. Yeah, I'm on both. Like currently I'm playing on, like right now in this session I'm playing on Steam, but I play on Epic also. I started on Epic. I've been playing since like 3 weeks after launch, so. And I played like 2 campaign playthroughs before I started modding anything. And I still play some unmodded games too, like some unmodded playthroughs and stuff like that. Currently doing 2 unmodded playthroughs. One I'm streaming with Jubo_1071, and that's on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then the other one I do when I have the time to do, which I might do tomorrow morning, and that is the Bare Knuckle Brawler playthrough. I think most of you here are familiar with my Bare Knuckle Brawlers Guild, but I run a series of challenges, and one of those challenges will gain you entry into my guild of Bare Knuckle Brawlers, where you fight various enemies in the game with your fists and no armor and no buffs. So I'm currently doing a playthrough with that style. Modified, I am allowing armor at certain points and things like that, but if you want to partake in any of those challenges, there are rewards for those challenges. Unfortunately, for console players, I can't offer any rewards that you can't earn yourself in-game, right? The rewards are things like enchanted weapons and stacks of gems and backpacks full of gems and things like that. But if you're on PC, I just got done working with Toby to create a mod for the Bare Knuckle Brawlers, and that mod has created, in that mod we've created weapons. I shouldn't say we. I came up with the concepts for the weapons and Toby made them work, and actually created the files for the game. But there are various sets. We've got 3 sets of gloves that increase your punch damage, and we can now do things like Bare Knuckle Brawl the Watcher in the Water and Bare Knuckle Brawl the End Boss. Sorry, I'm bad at avoiding spoilers, so hope I didn't spoil the Watcher for anybody that's listening. But there's a couple of enemies in the game that can't be damaged except by certain weapons, and we've modded that into the gloves so that you can literally bare knuckle brawl any enemy in the game. Another thing I give as a reward to PC players for the Bare Knuckle Brawlers Guild is the world save file for a world that I've done some building in. I've left room for other people to do building in. But you can upload that save file, and then there's map stones to all the different challenge creatures in the game to make it easier for you to find the next challenges. The only challenge you have to do to get into the guild is to Bare Knuckle Brawl a Cave Bear. Oh, that was another thing that we modded. That one of the rewards for Bare Knuckle Brawling a Cave Bear is now a bear's head shield. I don't have the mod installed on Steam for those items right now, otherwise I'd show them to you. But I gotta pay better attention to those ad breaks, don't I? Sorry about that. Can't build that wall panel, but if you install Toby's mod, you can build this wall panel. Man, I'm just now noticing, like, there's some really shoddy building here. Like these posts coming through the ceiling, coming through the floor. That poorly lined up lattice. Shouldn't even be repairing it, should just tear it out. But we gotta be careful about that too, don't we? It's gonna require some thought on how I want to proceed with that. Oh, Tyler, I responded to you in my Discord about, you said you were thinking about installing mods for the Bare Knuckle Brawler rewards. Are you on Epic or are you on Steam?
Captain's been looking for you.
You're on Steam, okay. I can send you the file path for where to install those mods at with some brief instructions. It's really simple as long as you know where to put them. It's a matter of unzipping the file, and in each one of those files there's going to be each one of those zip folders there's going to be 3 files. All 3 files from each zip folder need to be dropped into a certain folder for your Steam game. And I'll send you that file path. And if you have any questions about it or you feel uncomfortable doing it, let me know, and we can jump on a Discord call or something and I can walk you through it if you're comfortable with that. Yeah, no problem. Just make sure you back up your save files before you start messing with mods. Sorry, Tyler. Didn't mean to jump scare you. I tend to save those for Jubo. Kyle, if you're genuinely interested in doing the Bare Knuckle Brawler challenge, you can either get the rules on my Discord, which There's probably been a link that's popped up into the chat a few times, but get it for you here real quick. There's also a thread for the Return to Moria Discord, where the rules are present also. There's a challenge channel in the Return to Moria Discord, and I have a thread within that channel that lays out the rules for that. But there are specific rules that you need to follow in order to qualify, in order for the challenge to qualify. So please make sure you read those and ping me or message me with any questions before you take on the challenge, because I'd hate to have you miss a rule and have the effort be for nothing. All right, so like I said, we're gonna have to think more about this build. We're definitely keeping this bottom floor, but I think everything above might get reworked. I think. How's everybody feel about that idea? Pardon me while I take a drink. What's in the supply cache? Any predictions? Yeah, Kirst, I agree. The bottom floor and the whole facade, the whole front of the building, I think is... Alright, so Kirst says there's stone in that resource cache. I'm gonna say there is 3 stone in that cache. Yep, Tyler says 3 stone, so I'll give Tyler the 3 stone. I'll say 2 stone. Everybody weigh in on that if you're interested while I tear this building up. Ooh, I don't want to tear that building apart. I want to keep those chandeliers. So we're going to go tear this building apart. We're going to use the special toothpick to tear this building apart. I was so disappointed by caches when I started noticing them, Tyler, that I messaged the devs and said, what's up with these resource caches and why don't they work? What's their intended purpose? And because I guarantee they're not fulfilling it. And basically I was told that their purpose was to collect any materials that a player left behind so that the player could retrieve them and they wouldn't despawn. And I'm like, I guarantee I'm leaving behind more than just a couple of stone or a couple of wood scraps. And recently I have found more things in them. The most curious thing I've ever found in a resource cache, and this was due to a bug that was occurring in the game at the time, was the 4th fragment of Durin's axe. And that was interesting. That one piece is gonna really hang on up there, just floating midair.
When do we get to eat?
All right.
Shut it, or I'll drag you back to Udon, toss you in the black pit.
It does wreck buildings. It wrecks everything. I'll give you another example of it here in a minute. Call. What? Yeah, build on a wall, but you gotta let me build it on a wall. How about that? Hey, honey bun, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Long time no see. Alright, we said stone in the resource cache. Kirst said stone, I said 2 stone, Tyler said 3 stone. Let's see what we got. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? What is this? Craft plans, a fragment of forgotten knowledge. What could that be?
With Mordor gone, it ain't gonna get better than this pit.
Heard I got LOX. I don't know what LOX is, honey bun. I'm better with acronyms than my friend Faith, but that one's throwing me for a loop. I'm sorry, I have to take a screenshot of this resource cache. Stupid Steam. I don't like using Steam's screenshot feature, so it won't let me take screenshots normally on my computer unless I put it into a windowed mode. Confirm. Return to game. Open. Now I should be able to screenshot. Alright, and now I can put it back out of windowed mode. Okay. Oh, I've tried to play Valheim, honey bun, but I don't know if you're aware of this or not. I'm not quiet about it, so I don't remember who knows and who doesn't know. But I'm a one-handed gamer. I'm an amputee, and so I only game with my left hand. And Valheim's controls are not friendly when it comes to remapping for my specific needs. So I've tried a couple times. I've tried to download mods to fix it, and it just doesn't work for me. I would love to play Valheim. It looks like a really fun game. I love the building in it, from what I've seen, but I'm not able to play it. Okay, so let's find out what these crafting plans are. Doesn't tell me what the crafting plans are. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, thanks, honey bun. I wanted to show you what else the toothpick does. We should probably think about sleeping. I mean, I can subsist off Lambus, right? When did I destroy the hearth? Those orcs that were fighting must have destroyed it. That's alright. Yeah, phantom plans. Worthless, right? Alright, let's go find an enemy to show Call what the toothpick does.
Huh? I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Gold. Shadow. I mean, we'll stop and sing a song while we look for an enemy.
Kazad Adnagan in Muru, Kazad Agnaraz Az.
Watch where those wargs go because their days are numbered.
Till
Alright.
Durin wakes from
Are
sleep.
you watching, Call? Because here it goes. So we'll do one of them with a normal hit. Oh, it didn't even show the damage, did it? Normal hit. 9,999. Fully charged hit. 44,996, I think it said. So I believe you said in Faith's stream earlier on story mode. Faith is another member of the North Beach Games content creator program, and I like to watch her streams. She's currently doing a playthrough, a Return to Moria campaign playthrough. So check her out, story mode on YouTube. But I like to, I think Colin mentioned that there was, he hasn't used, Kyle hasn't been into the warehouse or loaded any resource save worlds or anything like that. So this is available in the warehouse. This tool is available in the warehouse. And it is called Glamdring. So it's a dev item. You can only find it in the warehouse or by using a special debug menu mod. So yeah, it wrecks literally everything. And you can put a spellcarver rune on it and get ironwood. Make stuff drop ironwood. Yep. Just grab Glamdring and wreck shop with it. Make sure there's nothing in the floor here. And we got an ad break coming up. I'm going to go ahead and start building this foundation, and then I'll explain this foundation when everybody gets back. Oh, need a hearth. Pesky details. That's right, Tyler. Wrecks everything whether you want it to or not. But you know, I can use Glamdring to take out all that orc wood in the Elven Quarter in like 20 minutes. As opposed to the 2 hours it normally takes. Adamant.
Good the bad slugs yet? Them dunghill rats? No, but I want their blades. Them mountain maggots? Not yet.
Alright, is the ad break over? It's got to be close, right? Alright, we got a full width out there. How many are we dealing with here? Three. Yeah, we're gonna stop it here. All right. Get some stairs out. That sucks. I don't like anything about ads, but they don't give you a choice anymore. They never give you a choice for affiliate, but I feel your pain. I feel your pain on the mod view, Tyler. Alright, so what I did here was this had some pre-rendered foundation, right? This stuff right here, there's nothing I can do about this. I can't destroy it. The problem with that is this foundation that I'm standing on and this foundation that gets created when you place a floor tile. You cannot sync. So anything on this Essentials and Crafting tab and most of the stuff on this Furnishings tab can be sunk into these adamant barriers. However, they cannot be sunk into this foundation, and they cannot be sunk into this foundation very well. So I don't like to use those. My biggest problem with mod view when I'm on my phone is I've accidentally timed people out when I click on their name and then I'm scrolling to hit the mention button. I accidentally hit the timeout button because you have to scroll past it to get to the mention button. Timed blew out that way once for 3 minutes, I think. Poor guy. Felt bad. Not for very long, but I felt bad. I definitely felt bad for less than 3 minutes. So you saw me delete all these. Number one, I wanted to show you that game rendered foundation thing, but also you see the snapping's been a little funky lately. You see how it's creating a lip there. You just gotta wiggle it a little bit to get those gaps to go away, because those gaps will cause problems for you down the road. There we go. Just gotta be patient. That's not right either. And you got to check it from multiple angles to make sure you're looking at it the right way. Nothing worse than laying 50 floor tiles and then turning around and looking at your work and finding out that there's gaps and bumps everywhere. All right. I typically like to make the face of a building an odd number of tiles wide so I can center a doorway. It's just not going to look right here. So we're going to offset the door far to one side. Yeah, I agree with Carl. I've been building this game since I started. I think I did one campaign playthrough before I got into the building aspect. And, yeah, it can be rough. For sure. Alright, let's start doing some facing. This is also what I like about building with adamant. You can... Adamant is thick enough that when you apply stone or granite or wood over top of it, it kind of goes over it like a skin. Instead of fighting with it and trying to mesh into it. Like if you tried to do the same thing with granite and stone. I like to keep things kind of rustic, but I don't know if this is the place for it. 21st Hall, building the Lord's Manor House. Probably stay away from heavy use of stone. So, let's go to granite. I wish we had more decorative granite. Because as much as I love the way this looks, this round piece on the top, this rounded crown, is a pain in the ass to make look good on the corners. So we're going to try the plain crown since I have old build pieces. Except here's the problem with this. This is what drives me the most crazy about the lack of build pieces, like when we can't match stuff up. So let me see what I have here. We're looking for something to match that is only one block wide. That's going to be our only option, and of course it doesn't match. But also the texture is off, and that looks rough and beat up. But we're gonna roll with it. That's what we do. I really like using those adamant barricades because it allows me to do stuff like this. I'm not going to leave this here, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Take this brazier, for instance. If there were game-rendered foundation under this, instead of adamant barricades, I wouldn't be able to think like, so there I'm getting above that foundation, that game-rendered foundation, and it's allowing me to place that there. But it wouldn't allow me to place, I'd have to place it just like this if there were game-rendered foundation, like the normal foundation that appears under a floor tile. So that's the thing that I like to do, and this allows me to do it. So you'll see a lot of, I don't know if you're on the Return to Moria Discord or not, Call, but you'll see a lot of the graybeards on that Discord, the ones that have been building for a long time, like Muriac Firmax and Fireman Davy and Jubo. We all use these. We all use adamant as our base, as our skeleton, as our foundation, as our strongest central support pieces, because it is the strongest, and it allows us to get away with stuff like that. Yeah, Jubo streams her builds a lot. I've kind of gotten away from it, but I want to get back into it. Fireman Davy hasn't been. He's been streaming Valheim a lot lately, but he's building in Valheim, and so Muriac Firmax has done a lot of tutorial videos for building and does a lot of really cool mega builds. Check out his YouTube channel. It's The Adventures of Muriac Firmax on YouTube. You can also find him in the Discord. Muriac is M-E-R-E-A-K. Firmax, just like it sounds.
I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Alright, now we gotta finish off these corners. Yeah, I saw that update too, Tyler. I believe he streamed Valheim last night with Nolia and Spezial K. You see how this sinks into the floor a little bit when it snaps. That's a good thing. And if you play, I don't place my floors until the absolute last possible moment, because once I do put floors here, sometimes, not always, but sometimes these will snap to, see how it's snapping, you can get it to snap to the floor instead of snapping to the foundation underneath the floor. And that is unstable. And if that's unstable, everything above it and attached to it is unstable. Yeah, that tracks. Nolia's been, I don't know, like she's not been, I don't want to say she's not doing well. I just know that she's been extra tired, and her sleep schedule is different than many people's, so we miss having her around though, so I hope she's taking care of herself and getting back out there. If any of you are interested in building, I started a private channel on my Discord for people that like to build, and if you want to be a part of that, it's a place that you can post your pictures and your videos of your builds, and you can discuss building with other people. It doesn't have to be about Return to Moria. If you play Valheim and you want to jump in there and talk to people about Valheim, you feel free to do that if the conversation takes off. You're clear to have that conversation in that Discord channel. But I'm sure it's going to start with a lot of Return to Moria building talk, so... we need to change some stuff here. 'Cause that just doesn't look quite right.
Dwarves had fled Moria.
Also, I'm sorry if this looks chaotic. It's because it is chaotic. I don't plan my builds like some people do. Like Davey draws his out on paper. I think Miriak maps some of his before building them. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. I say I want to build this house and I want to build it in this place, and then I just go in and start throwing pieces down, which results in destroying a lot of stuff and rebuilding it and things like that. So yeah, that's not gonna work either. I don't think I have a piece that I'm gonna feel comfortable putting down there. No. It's all right. There's another change we can make. Hey, Sapako, how are you? Do I have a vision before I begin to build? Sometimes. Like when I built my Blue Mountain Hunter's Lodge, I knew that I wanted something that looked similar to that picturesque Viking-style longhouse, right? So that's about as close as a vision gets. Like this, so the purpose behind these builds that I want to do in the 21st Hall, this is my warehouse save world. So I loaded it onto Steam. It's normally on Epic. I loaded the world onto Steam so that I could have a copy of it that I could build, that I could then replace the save file with. Hey Cal, how's it going? So I also wanted to add to it special built houses for each of my dwarves. Like I have a keg dwarf, and I have a building dwarf, and I have a regular adventuring dwarf. And I wanted buildings that they could go into and grab specific ready-made backpacks that have all their full gear loadout in them, so I'm not running around a warehouse trying to remember to grab everything and cherry-picking each individual piece and things like that for whatever adventure I'm going on. So that's the purpose of these builds. One of these is going to be Builder's House, one of these is going to be Baron's House, one of these is going to be Brawler's House, one of these is going to be, I have a character named Mutzak. One going to be his house. So all right, there we go. That looks better.
Captain's been looking for you.
I put the wrong piece over here. I'm good. I'm glad you stopped by, Spacco. I am building in the 21st Hall. Yes, indeed. That's not the piece that I put there. It's not the piece, right? It's not. What is that piece? Plain crown. Plain crown. Why does it not look the same? Oh, there it is. Didn't rotate it. That's the problem. Okay. Alright. Yep, did the same thing there. There we go. thanks for hanging out, Call. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you around. Hope to see you in the future. Alright, let's see here.
Captain's been looking for you.
I do want to try something new here. I like that type of walk. Tyler? I guess it probably matters what kind of neighborhood you're in, though. Yeah, that's fair. What the hell happened there?
Oh, I'm tired. When do we get to eat?
Runes and dragons. That sounds like good stuff. It's not going to look right. We're just going to have to figure out a different solution there. Maybe not put adamant there, which would be risky, but that's all right.
I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Back to the adamant. Alright, let's see. Let's find a good archway. Nope. Really? Not gonna let me do that? Not gonna let me get away with it? What if we do this first?
Captain's been looking for you. That stinker! Thought he was crushed by the dragon.
Well, there's a new voice line. Oh, son of a... Man, that's disappointing. Ooh. Yeah, it's always interesting, Cal. There's too many things stacked on top of each other there. I wonder if getting rid of the adamant will help.
Huh? I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Hey. Let's see if we can repeat it. I like it. I like it a lot. Thanks, Cal. Or Cal. Getting names mixed up today. Alright.
Captain's been looking for you. That stinker! Thought he was crushed by the dragon.
We heard it once, now we have to hear it 1,000 times. It's alright. At least now I know it's real and I didn't just make it up. Alright. I don't know about anybody else. I play with mouse and keyboard, and I find that when I have scrolled down on the build page, and then I go back into it, and it's still scrolled down on the build page, when I go to scroll back up and I click on something, a lot of times it will jump and not give me the build piece that I want. So if you see me click into a different tab and back to the first tab, I'm just resetting the scroll on it is what I'm doing. Right, Tyler. Yeah, it seems to happen at the worst time, especially when you're building. Same on controller, Cal. It's good to know that it's not just me. What am I looking for? Want that door open the right way so it's not messing with me. Oh, that's rough. I've heard people complaining about their mouse cursor staying on screen, and I get that sometimes. But, like, when I can actually see the cursor arrow on the screen, but it doesn't really affect me other than it's not visual, not something I want to see visually, but there's no actual negative effect to it. All
I
right.
thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Let's get those arches out again. So, if you don't have an old world, or if you're not using Toby's restored build pieces mod, you don't have this piece. They took it out and they just gave us this piece. But I like to use the big one because it would require two pieces here. If I use the big one, it's just one piece, which the game registers differently. It actually shortens the time of my stability check. And sinking it into the ground a little bit further tends to give you a little bit more stability.
I thought all the dwarves
So,
had fled Moria.
less pieces is definitely a good thing, especially the bigger your builds get. Not going to make it too far on this build tonight. I'm probably going to put in another 15 minutes here. And then that'll put it at a little after midnight for me. And I should be thinking about getting to bed because my alarm goes off at 5:45. All right. Doing that because we're going to kick out the upper story to hang out over the front of the building.
Oh, I'm tired. When do we get to eat?
Shut it, or I'll drag you back to Udun, toss you in the black pits.
This is an old world, Cal. This is my first campaign playthrough world that I turned into my own personal warehouse save. That I keep updated with all the new materials that come out. So why does that look different? It's a weird gap there. It's weird. I guess it's kind of the same on all of them, isn't it? It's just the way it's what happens when you overlap stuff. Stuff can start to look weird and janky like that. Yeah, it's all about the way those pieces are overlapping, Cal. I don't think it's going to let me place the window first and then put the archives over top of it, but we'll give it a shot because that will help me line it up better if it works. Yeah, that figures. Yep, we call that Moria math, all about the order of operations. That looks much better. Hopefully it looks the same from the inside. Yep. Might have to redo that one. That one's good. That one's good. That's better. All right. Yeah, I really like it. I think it turns out good. Something new. I don't like just building with plain granite. It looks too plain to me. Even with the decorative columns and the decorative crowns and stuff like that, it's just too plain. For my taste. I'm really frustrated by this piece right here. That piece right there with the bad texture on it. Like, I don't know if they thought that was a good idea, or it was just laziness and got overlooked. But it's frustrating. Okay, what to do for the stairs? Let's try this. Okay. Yeah, I normally like to mix the stone with the wood. Sometimes with a little bit of touches of granite here and there, but that's not really the feel that I want to go for on this particular build in this 21st hall. There we go. I'll get that narrow stone, slender stone staircase. Yeah, that's too much. That's better. Is that game rendered foundation going to let me sink this enough? It will. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Cal. Sharing ideas, making each other better. I think I invited you to that channel on my Discord, the drafters table for building ideas and things like that. So give that a look. Trying to foster a building community on my own server, not just for Moria, for any game, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty Moria centric, at least at the beginning. I do want to say that if you're going to be posting stuff, you're welcome to cross-post whatever you're posting in the Moria Discord there. But if you're going to be posting a lot of images, like you do in the Moria Discord, I would recommend creating a thread and titling that thread with your name. Post your pictures there, kind of view that as your portfolio. Post your pictures there, and then go ahead and post a brief post with a link to your thread saying, hey, I updated my portfolio, go check it out. Things like that. That way you can keep all your stuff in an easily searchable place, and if somebody wants to look specifically at your stuff, they have a place to go to. And also, you're not clogging up the main part of the channel with a bunch of images and possibly burying other people's questions or ideas or non-image posts. If anybody else listening wants to be a part of that, let me know, and it is a private channel, so you do have to you have to join my Discord, and then you have to be added to that channel. So trying to make it a tourist-free zone. Threads are great.
kill this dwarf. We got orcs. Ah, perfect. That's all you got?
No stamina. So what happens when you're wearing dev armor and you're not taking damage from starvation, you don't realize when you get tired.
La calma, you. I need a better weapon for this. Marbutefu!
I want to finish this staircase before I go to bed, so make sure that that's going to be lined up the way I want it. They took out my door. Well, welcome home, Tyler. Build a fireplace here. Play around with some ideas here for a second. It's a weird gap. Of course, this might be a weird gap too. It's on the floor, but not crazy about it. Yeah, we'll try that, but that's probably not going to sink. Nope. Nope.
With Mordor gone, it ain't gonna get better than this pit.
No. Well, I mean, I'd call them Arkenstones, Tyler. You should post a picture of it. I like to keep... So the ram's head is the crest of Clan Axbeard. And I like to keep ram's head shield. Let's get rid of this damn Zarok torch. Forgot to change my armor back, didn't I? So, I don't know if you can do this on console or not, but got this Zarak torch or any masterwork sticking out of your backpack. So, you go into your inventory and you select it while it's in your inventory. That'll put it in your hand, and then you unequip it while you're in your inventory. And it puts it away, but it hides it from your backpack, which is helpful to me sometimes, especially if we're talking about Durin's axe or something like that. So anyways, wall display, because the crest of Clan Axebeard is the ram's head. I like to hang ram's head shields above my fireplaces. So I tend to keep a few in my backpack. Sorry about that, Cal. I do it for everybody's safety. Now, a stone hearth is not going to fit in here. It's going to be too damn big. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's not going to be too big, but it's going to make this obsolete. Which is fine. Ooh, I like that.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Yeah, you have a good day, Sapako. Thanks for stopping in. You're scared of the age verification, Tyler? I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I think I like it. How did those end up being off? That's ridiculous. I'm not going back to fix it now. I'll live with it. Blight Empire, thanks for the raid. How are you guys doing? What were you guys playing? Welcome in. We're just streaming some Return to Moria. Doing a little building tonight. How long you been playing Moria? You enjoying it? I love this game. I've been playing for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years at the beginning of next month. Awesome, awesome. You guys should check out the Return to Moria official Discord. You can find the link. I think there's a link. Well, you can go to their website, and there's a perma link there. So that's your best bet. But it's a really great community. Super helpful, super kind. I think it's one of the best communities on the internet, to be honest with you. Lots of helpful people there if you run into any trouble. All around good place. You know, great minds, right, everybody? All right. I don't normally place a lot of rugs, but... And I'm really placing decorations and stuff too early. But I just want to see if they fit. And it's not going to let me do it because I put those bookcases there. We'll have to do it later. That's fine. I feel the same way, Tyler. I feel the same way. Alright, I like the bookcase and scroll case idea, but it's too early for decorations. See, the problem with decorations this early is things from the build tab. Sorry, things from the crafting and essentials tabs and things from the furnishing tabs will sync into things from these other build tabs. But things from these build tabs cannot sync into essentials and craftings or furnishings, so those things come last. I do use floors to cover the admin base. Well, sometimes, not all the time. But here's the reason that I put them in last. So I did this earlier. Let's see if it does it again. So we placed that there. And the example we used was granite column base. So you see it's snapped through the floor onto the adamant base here. But sometimes it will snap to just the floor itself, like it was right there for a moment. And there's no gap underneath that between the column base and the floor. And sometimes they will actually snap like that. And then something like this happens. And then your whole building falls apart.
What are dwarves doing in here?
So we wait. We put floors in as late as absolutely possible. Okay, carved beam or timber beam? I know we use the carved beam in the fireplace, but I think it might be too much. You guys let me know what you think while I mess with some other stuff. I mean, you really don't have a problem putting floors in unless you're trying to put it underneath stuff like crafting stations, like things from the Essentials and Crafting tab and things from the Furnishings tab. So the last things to go in are the things from those two tabs, and the second to last thing to go in should be your floor tiles, in my experience. Your mileage may vary. What was I going to do? Oh yeah. I remember now.
Captain's been looking for you.
That stinker! Thought he was crushed by the dragon!
Thoughts? Carved beam, timber beam. That's typically how I tend to be, Tyler. Like, this starts to look gaudy to me. And I'm typically more of a fan of rustic stuff. Like, normally I'd be building this with a combination of stone and wood. With an adamant skeleton, but like I said, it just doesn't fit the 21st Hall, so. But that doesn't mean I have to go all in. Ah, come on. Yeah, I get that, Cal. Yeah, I like to use things as accent pieces instead of going all in with them.
Captain's been looking for you.
Yeah, I agree, Cal. Next question. Lattice or railing? I kind of like the lattice. That's a good call, Kirst. Go with the railing. I knew what you meant. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. We gotta go up and make sure that lined up right. Oh, I forgot we didn't put any adamant block in there yet.
With Mordor gone, this pit's all we got.
That's a new voice line. Yeah, Tyler, I think that the railing does fit better here because, again, if we're trying to stay away from the gaudy aspect, railing over lattice. I think that turned out good. God, I want to tear out all these barriers, this whole row, and then I would have to redo everything from this column this way. Yeah, I agree. Except, you know what I just now realized? That doesn't get to go there. Because because we need to put floors there. This is our access to the second floor.
What are dwarves doing in here? Thought they all left.
Do we want inlaid floor up top? Or do we want patterned floor? I think we want patterned floor. You know what? I just assumed that this was... No, I don't mind that look, Cal. I like that coffered ceiling look. I mean, to each their own, right? But I don't mind it at all. Oh, are you kidding me right now?
I'm going as fast as I can.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
Had a go at the Gundabad slugs yet?
There we go. Yeah.
Captain's been looking for you.
One thing about the expansion that hasn't been mentioned or talked about yet, at least not from the dev aspect, is I hope we get new songs. Sounds like, I don't know if these voice lines are just stuff that they had sitting around that they didn't put in the game that they've decided to add in. When did that show up? How did I miss that? But new songs would be amazing. Now we can use some railings. Why are you gonna be like that? Yeah, it's rough, Cal. Yeah, I saw the video. Was it Delving Dwarf that did the video for you, Cal? It looked good, man. I'm sure it took a lot of patience. Come on. There we go. He's not okay, Cursed. He's Scottish. I'm just giving you crap, Cal. No offense.
I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Come on, you piece of crap. Alright, putting these railings on, and then we're going to find somebody to raid out to so I can get some sleep. I think everybody deserves one more song before I take off, though. One more song while we look at the beautiful facade of this building.
With a ping and a pong, the fiddle strings broke, the cow jumped over the moon, and the little dog laughed to see such fun, and the Saturday dish went off at a run with a silver Sunday spoon. The round moon rolled behind
Just
the
looks
hill
good.
as the sun raised up her head. She hardly believed her fiery eyes, for though it was day, to her surprise,
I repaired it.
they all went back to bed.
This is all
live for ale,
the normal
a
build.
fire,
Like,
and a
I really want
sun.
these
Yeah.
curved pieces right here, but we don't have those. I don't know if they've been added to Toby's mod yet. I should check into that, but I won't be using the more build pieces mod in this world. Just the old pieces. I like the way that lighting on that fireplace turned out. We'll still need to put some torches and stuff in here, or some lamps, one or the other. Thanks, Kirst. I feel like we need more bear heads. No wall torches, Cal, you know better. You want wall torches, you'll have to wait for Jubo's stream. Oh, we gotta put that door back in. No, not stone. Do we want to finish that front off like that? Or like that? Oop. Plain crowns or archway crowns? I think archway crowns. Oh, I could go on for quite a while about differing colors on pieces. Don't get me started. Kind of like the texture on this. There's a sloped adamant piece that is a completely different color than the rest of the set. Like, noticeably darker.
I thought all the dwarves had fled Moria.
Now, I'm not opposed to putting wall torches up underneath the, like, out of sight, just to add light type of situation, but I'll probably do lamps for this particular build. Yeah, it's nice to have that long piece, Cal, for sure.
Had a go at the Gundabad slugs yet?
It's a little on the bright side. It's a lot on the bright side. We're gonna have to remedy that. Thanks, Kirst. I think it might be too much for right now, but we'll worry about it another time. We're gonna call it here. Let's see. I'm gonna jump over to my Twitch and see about raiding somebody. Yeah, I prefer Amber, Tyler, for sure. 100%. All right, we got somebody with doing Moria with 2 viewers. Been up for an hour and 20 minutes. And let's go. Well, I don't know if any of these are English speakers, so. All right, we're gonna go with this one. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. I'll probably be streaming a little bit tomorrow. Yeah, that's Chinga. So you guys have a great night, great day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.
May you always have a partner by your side at every meal. Keep your belly full and worry not, my friend. May your silver never tarnish, may your knives be ever sharp. Keep your belly full and worry not, my friend. Oh, the caves run cold, the tales are told, supply grows old. But long as you have brothers near and sisters by your side, keep your belly full and worry not, my friend. May you always have a larder floor to ceiling stocked with meat. Keep your belly full and worry not, my friend. May your barrels never empty, may your mugs be ever topped. Keep your belly full and worry not, my friend. Oh, the caves run cold, the tales are told, supply grows old. But long as you have brothers near and sisters by your side, keep your belly full and worry not.